Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the Toon review for the Liverpool 2, Newcastle United 1 match review. Danielle will be joining us. She's going to be a bit late, but she will be joining us shortly. Alex, I'll start with you. How are you feeling?
Very proud of him.
Yeah,
I think we learned a lot. I think it's evident we need a midfielder in the transfer window because we couldn't. I mean, Willock, the poor guy, he made a few mistakes, but he was just exhausted. Some of the lads were just exhausted. We needed substitutes.
Yep.
We don't have them. Willock and Longstaff needed to come off. Murphy was atrocious. Fraser, apart from his shot, was useless as well. I think he was terrible. No pressing at all. Wood did okay for a couple of minutes, for 5 minutes, and then just disappeared out of the match entirely. We just needed some more substitute. There was just nobody to bring on. Who were we going to bring on? Richie? Like, there was nothing.
Yeah, but Alex,
for the players
what is
that
this
did
thing
play,
about bringing Murphy on? And Elliot Anderson is a million times better than the player Murphy is, and I don't care how old he is. Right? He is a much better player than Jacob Murphy, and he keeps on bringing Murphy on. And Murphy,
at that time in the game, Anderson would have been fine to bring on. I don't dispute that. I agree. I think that's a particular time. Murphy would have been fine. 3 50-50s Murphy bottled out of within being 6-7 minutes on the pitch. He wouldn't jump either.
Abysmal. I mean, Billy, what's your thoughts? I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here tonight and bitch on about players. There's no way I am. But I'd just like to see Elliot Anderson given more opportunity than Jacob Murphy.
I just felt Eddie Howe could have managed the last injury time better. I think he could have brought another centre half on to help out. I
said that in commentary as well. Yeah,
clearly struggling with cramp. Well, certainly Lascelles was struggling with cramp.
Yeah,
maybe bring an extra centre half on and take Willock off and just go 5 at the back. Could have done that. I thought he missed a trick there. But all in all, you can't fault the performance of the lads. They were outstanding tonight. They gave 110% every single one of them. Obviously, the quality, there was a dearth of quality when the subs came on. But at the end of the day, we've been undone by the referee, haven't we? Let's be honest.
I mean, some of his lack of bookings for terrible fouls in the first half, and then he books Lascelles for a ridiculous, he hardly caught Harvey Elliott, and just
his first one. Fabinho, how many, Alex?
Fabinho had 6 fouls that I counted.
Well, there you go.
No yellow.
An absolute disgrace. Mubarak, thank you very much for your $4.99 super chat, mate. Murphy, can we please terminate his contract? Billy, what's your thoughts about, the disgraceful Liverpool bench when they got that winner? I mean, yes, you score in the last minute, you're going to be passionate, but to go and stick your fingers up at the Newcastle bench is a disgrace.
Yeah, I'm afraid the behaviour of the Liverpool bench all night was left a lot to be desired.
Well, all night, exactly.
Klopp looks like
disgusting.
He looks like he's on the verge of a heart attack. Literally, that man's going to have a heart attack. He's under pressure at Liverpool. He's got to win something this year. Otherwise, I think he knows he's under some sort of pressure because the way he reacts to any single thing slightly going against him, the most overreactions you get from him, it's pathetic. And like you say, the last minute when they got that, let's be honest, it was a lucky goal. And can I also add that every single ricochet that went tonight fell in their favour, just like
as it did against Wolves, to be honest. Yeah,
exactly the same. And it's the ball isn't winning our way at the minute, but it will do. It evens itself out in the end, and when it does, watch our Premier League because we're coming.
Yeah. Bradley Big Toe, thanks for your 109 Swedish krona, mate. Thank you so much. Cheers, Paul, for pure quality commentary. Great performance from the lads. Bring on Palace. Alex, we do have a lot to be positive about. Let's not beat around the bush. We have a lot. One being our new striker who took that goal absolutely brilliantly.
Yeah, that was immense. His for an hour. I mean, he tired a lot. Considering he's had his own preseason with Sociedad and he's played a couple of La Liga matches, it just shows you the difference in intensity at the Premier League and how it is to play at the top level, because we are competing with elite teams right now, and that is essentially to me that's a Champions League quality game. That was incredible. Obviously, once the substitutes came on for us and we tired, not so much. But I'd say for the first hour, that was a Champions League quality game.
Yeah.
And he for when he still had his fitness. Coming short for runs, dribbles, making himself available, the presses, positioning, just everything that we explained he could do when he first joined. He did it. He did it in abundance, and he should have had a second goal, in my opinion. That's equally as onside as Rashford's goal was for Man United the other day.
It's funny because there's a comment here from Tom saying freeze frames going around Twitter look like Isak may have just been onside. Now, I've only seen it once. I saw it on the replay on what I was watching the stream on. And he did look slightly off, but given that a lot of people are now, and people in fairness through the watch along were commenting saying they think he was onside. But again, Billy, we look back to the Rashford situation and we think, right, like Alex has just mentioned, those things go for Man United and Liverpool and teams like that, and we get robbed of it. But Isak, the way he took that goal, I mean, it was world class.
Yeah, it was. It was something we've not seen in a Newcastle shirt for a long time. It was. He got. We were celebrating for like lunatics until we realised it was offside. Way after we should have realised, but yeah, I mean his shoulder was probably offside, but his feet certainly weren't. And you can't kick the ball with his shoulder; it's onside, in my opinion. It's onside all day long. Rashford was a yard, well not a yard, but a couple of inches offside. Allowed it. Now, if that's not corruption, I don't know what is.
Well, I mean. We mentioned the word corruption, but we've also got to have a look at is it just that the referees are downright rotten, or is there something else more sinister, Alex? Because I'm starting to question it myself, because I don't know what to think anymore. I'm sick of coming out of out of St. James's Park or watching these games and commentating on them thinking the referees were awful. Now, is it because they're just awful, or is there something going on?
Well, I mean, they blew for the corner 1 minute and 40 seconds after the allotted time of injury time. That should have, Pope was down, fair enough, and people are saying it's karma. It's not karma. 1 minute 40, he blew for the corner. Surely that's one that went out of play for the corner. You blow for full time.
Yeah.
Not only that, I pointed this out to Billy, the fact that the referee, when Pope was down, the referee went to get the ball off Pope. What's that about? Yeah. Why is a referee going to get the ball off? I've never seen a referee go and get a ball off an injured player within a minute to try and get play going again. I've never seen a referee help another team in that manner. That is bizarre. It is bizarre. Especially
the goalkeeper.
It was a goalkeeper as well. Very odd indeed. Considering we had the actual medical team on having a look at his, I don't know, trap, shoulder, whatever. He went. He had Van Dijk.
He did fall awkwardly on his shoulder, to be fair, because he fell backwards.
It's just, it's weird. It's weird. I've never seen a referee go and try and pinch the ball to speed it up and blow for the corner 1 minute 40 afterwards. And arguably the 5 minutes added was generous. I don't know where they got the 4 minutes in the first half from, in all fairness.
Yeah.
So we played a total of what? They played 8 minutes added time in the second half. So they played a total of 12 minutes added time in that match from first and the second half. Where was 12 minutes coming from? It's disgraceful.
I don't understand it. Wagner says, not a single yellow for Liverpool. What the F was that? Absolutely. Max says, it's like a day out at Alton Towers supporting the Toon. You're up and down and shaking around and around. I'm knackered. Kicked every ball. Chuffing injury time, my arse. Looking forward to tomorrow. Andrew says, I've not seen any of the match and only got in just now. Caught the end of the watch along. What happened to the touchline at the end? Gutted we've lost. Proud the boys. Sick of this refereeing. Well, Andrew, the Liverpool bench decided to go and, stick the V's up in that at the Newcastle bench, which Fabian Schär really lost the plot. So something for him to react like that, something really nasty happened, because he was absolutely foaming. And it just says the standard of sportsmanship from Liverpool, which is disgraceful. They've gone down a long way in my estimations. The way Klopp behaved on that sideline the whole game, and not once did the referee come and speak to him. He was having to go at the Newcastle management all through the game. He was having to go at Howe and Tyndall constantly, bickering in the fourth referee's ear constantly, and not once did Andre Mariner have the balls to go over and say anything to him about it. But this is common now. Klopp does what he wants on the sideline, and he will get away for it. Because I guarantee, if that was anybody else, they would have been hauled up, they would have been yellow carded or sent off. But because it's Jurgen Klopp, yet again, he gets away with blue murder. Billy.
Well, let's be honest. He's refereed that game from 1 minute to 90 minutes, 100 minutes, let's say. He's refereed it. Every single decision that went against him, he was up in arms about it. He looked quite threatening at times with his manner. Simple decisions not going their way. You know, it's an outrage. And like you say, any other manager in the league, with the exception of Ten Hag, probably Tuchel he did get done, didn't he?
Well, Tuchel's been punished, and I don't think anybody behaves like Jurgen Klopp. I generally don't believe that anybody else behaves in that way.
This is what I tried to explain to you a few months ago when I was favouring Man City over Liverpool when we were asking the questions, because of this. They behave in the same way that Everton do, in my opinion. Just with it's just so childish. It's whinging. How many times did the crowd, the Scousers in the crowd, how many times did they call for a handball that never was? 9, 10, 11 times. It was all of them united in their whinging. It was appalling. It was just appalling. Whereas Man City will try and win through quality, Liverpool were trying to win through rattiness, luck, and whinging, and it was quite poor to see from, a Champions League winning team.
That's the annoying thing. Southern Geordie says Mark Goldbridge said it's disgusting and a disgrace that the ref added extra minutes. Said it was an absolute bullshit. Well, he would, because he's a Man United fan and it's Liverpool, but he's speaking sense. I like Mark. He's a good lad, and listen. It's bullshit. Klopp embarrassed himself tonight, a sure sign that Liverpool have peaked. Look, Liverpool had a very strong team out tonight. Let's not beat around the bush here. They had a strong team out, and we didn't. We had a lot of our quality missing tonight, and we should have come out with something there. And for me, you mentioned it before, Alex, talking about hoping Liverpool win the league. I hope they're nowhere near. I've lost so much respect for Liverpool after tonight. So much respect for them that I don't care anymore. They can join the freaking Scouse Mackems as far as I'm concerned. The behaviour is appalling. And they should hang their heads. If I had a manager that behaved like him, I'd be embarrassed. I really would. We were embarrassed when Pardew went on his little jaunts and headbutting people. But for a manager like him, it's not because he's passionate. That's not passion. It's nowhere near passion. It's bullshit.
Unhinged. He looks dangerous. He looks like a very strange man. He looks like a very troubled man.
When he grits his massive ploughman's teeth, you know what I mean? It just looks like he's going to kill somebody. And what I laughed at today is that he was bitching on about something to Eddie Howe, and Jason Tyndall stepped in and he shit himself because Tyndall had that look in his eye that he wanted to absolutely pulverize Klopp. And he Klopp backed down straight away and started patting Tyndall on the shoulder as if to say, I'm sorry, don't go at us. And then it all kicked off.
That was the fourth outburst from Klopp, and no yellow card. That was the fourth outburst when he had a little conversation with Tyndall.
Patrick says absolutely blew it tonight. Game was in our favour, and of course we let it go. Oh, I'm not up for comments like that. I'm really not. No way.
Ban him. He's an idiot. Just ban him.
What a ridiculous thing to say. Fuck Andre Mariner. His wife shags other men behind his back. Okay. Tom says Bruno tweeting how proud he is of the team. Well, absolutely. Why wouldn't he? Wagner says there were some players that I thought didn't have the best game, but I refuse to criticize them. Look, we know that, Wagner, and that's because we all know that some of these Newcastle players, aren't up to, the likes of Bruno and some of the rest of them. We know that, but it's a process of changing the team around, the squad around, and then just building. That's what we're doing. We're in a kind of situation where we are rebuilding. okay? And it takes a while to rebuild, and it won't happen over one summer. Vortex, thanks for your £10 super chat. Coverage was phenomenal, Paul. Thank you very much. Hendo, time wasting coming off. Reffin is rotten. Robbed is an understatement. Bench antics was awful. 10 out of 10 for sure. Grit and effort tonight. Congrats to Isak. Slick. He's right what he says. Henderson, what was that all about?
Well, last week, who was substituted and was told to go off the nearest point of exit? Can't think who it was. It may well have been St. Maximus.
Dan Burn.
Like that. Dan Burn. He was told to go off at the nearest point of exit.
Yeah.
Jordan Henderson spent 15 minutes looking to give the captain's armband to whoever he wanted to give it to, and then trotted off like he had no cares in the world. And he must have added 2 or 3 minutes on for that. You know, probably a minute, but I bet he's added 2 or 3 on for it. It was pathetic. Should have been yellow carded. That's what should have happened. He should have been yellow carded for time wasted.
Pedro says, Paul, I hope you had a sugar fix. Great commentary again, mate. Love the passion. Hey, this keeps me going, my man. Keeps me going with the sugar, no doubt about it. Isak is fire, says Peter. Willock was dead on his feet at the end. Look, somebody put in during the watch along that Willock hadn't been mentioned very much. Now, I think he was, he made a few mistakes tonight. He made a clearance late on in the second half that felt to Fabinho or it felt to Gomez. I can't remember which one it was, and he blasted it over the bar. But look, Willock played his part again tonight. He really did. And look, I'm not criticising a single player on that pitch. I think we know where the quality lacks, right? But what didn't lack tonight was effort from every single one of them. You can say, Chris Wood didn't do this or Murphy didn't do that. Fair enough. But they all put in a shift, no matter who you talk about. And Joe Linton, again, immense. I don't care what anybody says. The guy is immense. He has found his calling in football, positional-wise. There is no doubt about it. He was all over the place again. We just had another super chat from Alexander. 500 RSD. What's RSD, Billy? Anybody know? I can't think what RSD is. We'll find out. Tom will know. Great effort, 500 RSD. Great effort by the lads. When we're going to have our top players fit, our opponents are going to be shitting bricks. Indeed. Absolutely. 100%. But you look at the defense tonight, I thought Lascelles was quality. As much as I can't believe I'm saying that, I thought he was really good. Dan Burn ran his heart out. Matty Targett. That is Matt Targett back to his very best, Alex.
Yeah, Matt Targett, he had a few situations where he was winning. They were trying to do the switch, and he was so positionally aware that was coming, and he headed it out. It must have been 4 or 5 times where he cut that switch out straight away. Yeah. And that saved us, that protected us from 5 dangerous build-ups.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I feel like there's one player we're missing. I'd say Targett, Lascelles, Joe Linton, and 100% is Miguel Almiron. I've never seen him look so tired when he's come off as a substitute. That boy, man, battery, whatever he is, my days. That was I don't care if he's not got a right foot. I don't care what his scoring record is. Not many people in the Premier League can do that. That is immense what he did. The amount of ground he covered. The reason we were able to go at Liverpool for an hour and Manchester City the other day, he is so important for the way we play. And they were bloody lucky we didn't have Maxi on the other side. Very lucky.
Yep, without a doubt. Todd Fischel over in America, thank you for your $10 super chat. We had our B team on and we ran with the big dogs. So happy for the lads. Sorry the ref screwed the game. Waleed says, these are the risks we take when we park the bus so early. Frustrating, but I'm proud of our performance. Unlucky to leave with nothing. I don't think we parked the bus, Waleed. I think, you've got to give quality.
Get out.
Yeah.
We were knackered
and playing against much better quality players than what we had on the pitch at the time. I think they've really, really done themselves proud. Aquasi says, I know this is about the Newcastle game, but holy snipes, Haaland. Yeah, I know. He's going to be scoring quite a few this season, I think. Kick long stuff out that team. He can't kick a tennis ball. Patrick, you're doing me head in. You really are. Yeah. Put a great shift in tonight. So unlucky to get robbed at the last minute. Can't question the lads, says Shane. They were brilliant for 97 minutes. Games against City and Liverpool, and we've held our own. Very proud. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Referee, a total wanker. Great team performance. Longstaff doesn't do it for me, I'm afraid. I thought he was okay tonight.
That's
I really
unfair.
did. And he got the assist for the goal as well with a beautiful ball through, which he did for Bruno. Was it last season? Or was it? Yeah, it was.
Arsenal.
Yeah. Ian says Klopp is lucky Mad Dog didn't know his false teeth down his effing neck. Yeah. Look, I just think he's a disgrace. The ref should have blown on 96 minutes. Where did he get the extra 3? Furious after that pile of cheating, corrupt shite, says Craig. Anthony says Murphy is done. Ian, fuming, absolutely fuming. 10 out of 10 for the defence. Longstaff and Willock are not first-team starters. Longstaff at fault for the goal, but this league needs to be scared of our front 3 when they are fully fit. I think, Longstaff is just going to get aimed at. I thought Matt Target could have done better for the goal, actually, but, that's just, it's obviously about opinions. Kamal, thank you very much for your $5 super chat. Sickening, but proud of our Warriors. The next game at our Fortress, Klopp will get a proper welcoming. Alex Pep is still talking about ASM after 5-0.
Really?
After
Yeah.
what?
Apparently, Pep is still talking about ASM after the 5-0 tonight. Well, it was 6-0, actually. The BT punters not calling out the +3 minutes. What a surprise. Hobbs is a typical referee and giving them 3 extra minutes. On a plus, I'm top in Fantasy League. Well done, Hobbs. Well done. We will be doing a show on Fantasy League next week, so we'll be seeing where people are positioned. I have a feeling we're going to have a lot from Danielle's Lee in that game. He's quite high up the table. I'm not. So there you go.
Compared to me.
Well, Billy, you're struggling, mate, out there. But hey, just shows where the strength is, mate. We're holding everybody else up. Ian says, give it another 12 months and Klopp won't be grinning. Look, Alex, do you think tonight's result, or listen, I don't believe a word of what Luke Edwards says about Newcastle United. I really don't. He says we're done. I don't believe him for a second. So, do you think we will be active tomorrow?
I don't know why he's saying that, because Eddie Howe answered his question, and that was not the answer to the question. He said, "Is it most likely that we'll be going in for loans?" And Eddie Howe said yes. So that means most likely. That doesn't mean 100%. If the transfer that suits what we want comes up, we'll go for it. That's what's been suggested. That's what's been stated. So, he's kind of gone back on what he said himself, because Luke Edwards' question was most likely. So that doesn't rule out signings. That doesn't rule out, loans. It doesn't rule out anything. It's a Eddie Howe was just letting him run with his own question. It doesn't mean it's true. So no, I think it's very evident in that game specifically showed we had no midfielders to bring on. And for people criticizing Willock and Longstaff, they were absolutely destroyed. They were misplacing passes and doing things after sort of 70, 75, 80 minutes. They were absolutely knackered. We tried to go toe-to-toe with them again, with another top side again. And it's hard. It is really hard. They needed to be subbed off. It's not that they wouldn't do that in the first half an hour of a match. I mean, they didn't do that. I mean, Longstaff got an assist. So it's about, I don't think people who don't play sports understand quite how difficult the concentration is when you are absolutely knackered. It's not that they're not okay as footballers. It's the level we're not going to play Man City and Liverpool within the same month all the time. We're going to have easier runs of fixtures. And if we can keep this level of performance up, we will beat most of the teams in the league comfortably.
100%. Paul says, so disappointed with conceding the goal, but a great display from the team. Onwards to the game on Saturday with hopefully a better ref. I don't even know who the referee is. I haven't even looked. I don't want to know. It's probably some other bell end again. James feels sorry?
Probably Susanna Reid.
Yeah, probably. Feel sorry for Liverpool fans. I would not be celebrating a win like that. Classless coach and a classless bench. Couldn't have said it better myself, James. Liverpool didn't deserve that, says Jan. The ref is corrupt. To be honest, I didn't expect a win, but it's a bitter pill to swallow being beaten by the ref. Look, I don't think, if, in all honesty, when people saw that team tonight, that anybody expected us to do as well as we did. But again, that is the difference, Billy, between the previous regime and Eddie Howe's regime. The turnaround in the players, the dedication, the passion, the way he sets them up. You know, we've got to. It's just completely different.
I think that's what makes it hurt the more actually, because none of us expected to get anything out of the game, and the fact we're that close to getting a deserved point out of it, it knacks. Eddie Howe, he's a genius. He's gone out there with a side that no one would have predicted would play. No one would have picked the Sal's on the side, for instance, and Dan Burn. But they both played superbly. I thought the Sal's, they missed the ball with Fabian Schär's or Sven Botman's boots, because some of the passing he did tonight was outstanding.
Yeah,
it wasn't just a case of oofing it. So if he can improve along with the rest of the squad, that gives us a bit of depth in defence. But we need midfield depth. That's what we need. We're desperate for it, because as Alex says, once the likes of Willock and Longstaff, and we actually commented just before they scored the first that we started to look leggy after 60 minutes. It was noticeable that but
it was always going to happen, though, wasn't it? We said that it was always going to happen, where there'd be a part of the game where Liverpool would come at us, and they did, and we would tire. But you know,
it's easy to play with the ball. It's easy to play with the ball, and when we had kind of 35% possession, 30% possession, you know, you're going to get more tired more quickly.
Absolutely.
But Christ, you've got to give them lads massive chapeau to them. Seriously.
Adam says Jamie Carragher saying it's karma for the time waste and still doesn't justify the extra added time. Or Jamie Carragher can kiss my hairy ring piece. He really can. Not in the mood for pricks like him, to be honest. It's just a joke.
Funny how he doesn't mention the fact that we had the ball in the net a second time. That doesn't get included in the tweet. The controversial offside. Oh, no mentions of that. They pick and choose what to say, don't they?
Well, of course they do. I mean, look, you know, we've got to take the positives from the game. And, you know, as hard as that is to say after we've, you know, just lost in the manner that we did, but we have to take some positives, Billy. And there was a lot from the game.
Virtually all of it, except for the result, was a positive. You know, we looked dangerous when we attacked. Alexander Isak's a gem. Absolutely. He's going to score a hatful of goals this year if we can keep him fit. I was kind of perturbed to see him have ice on his leg after he came off. But when we get our full strength side out, seriously, I think we're going to be something special. And even, you know, even tonight, some of the players that don't usually play, Lascelles is Longstaff to an extent. I thought he was perfectly adequate for most of the game. But as his legs went, obviously, he was going to get caught out more. It's just the depth. I mean, Jacob Murphy, when he came on, was an absolute... He was knackered after 5 minutes of being on. He was jogging back, not pressing, giving the ball away at every opportunity, passing, standing behind the defender, wanting the ball, when all they have to do is step a yard to his left and be in a space to receive the ball from Trippier or Mickey, I think it was. But just no brains. He hasn't got any common sense. He hasn't got much, no touch and no real effort. Let's be perfectly honest about it. We need to get rid of Murphy. We need to get that now, and let's get some depth in the squad. We can do it tomorrow. We can do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Eric, well, it's not Eric, but it's just using it. Eddie on 5 Live now says it's heartbreaking. It was fatigue, not time wasting. Wouldn't comment on where the ref got 8 minutes. He's too diplomatic. I'd be raging, which is why I'm not the manager. I'm sure if it was the other way around, Jurgen Klopp would have a say, though. But Eddie's far too diplomatic. He's not like the prick that he is. You know, he won't come out and say it. I know what Eddie will be thinking. Certainly, along with Jason Tyndall, I know exactly what they'll be thinking. But like you said there, Eddie is too diplomatic, Alex, to come out and make a fool of himself like Jurgen Klopp did tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this echoes back to, you know, my personal preference for us being winners and successful is I want us to do it the right way. I don't want a team full of Sergio Ramoses. I don't want angry managers, and you know, I'd prefer we just are quality and show a bit of class, and we win the right way. And I'm losing my voice completely, but that was a very angry game. and we, you know, Joe Linton never typically starts anything, but he's happy to defend teammates, and they're all pretty classy lads. They defend each other. You know, even Kieran Trippier, when he took that yellow for the professional foul, he went straight up to the referee. We don't have that kind of player, and it shows with the manager as well. And it's good. It's good. We haven't got a team full of arseholes.
Mick Lingard, thank you for your £20 super chat, mate. Did us proud and got mugged, but Isak will be quality. Up the A1 says Ferdinand said, "What a nice touch, Klopp with his smile at the end. Wanted to wipe the smirk off his face." Oh, typical Ferdinand, isn't it? Honestly, just doesn't have a clue. I hope the Saudis are so raging tonight that they get the checkbook out tomorrow. There's a possibility they will. They do not like being second best. Matthew said, "Gutted, but so proud of the lads tonight. Some of our average squad players did better than I thought. No way did we deserve to lose that." Agreed. Ian says, "Who stuck their fingers up? Klopp is to blame as he leads by example. Soft knob prick." James' second year in a row. Mike Dean last year. Andre Mariner this year. Could we get some fair referees? Can't argue with that. I've never been so angry in my life. Klopp. Oh my God. I could. Yeah, exactly. Paulie Max says, "I can't say I'm not disappointed, but our second string team pushed them to the last minute. And for that, I'm proud as punch." Indeed.
And historically, how many times have they done this with a last minute goal? How many times is that now? 4 or 5 times? It's pathetic. It's pathetic. They're just the luckiest side in the Premier League. And I used to call out Man United, but they're a different breed altogether. They really are.
Yeah. Turpy Balboa says, "Paul, I'm sorry I didn't listen to you watch along and stupidly listen to the awful biased one-sided BT commentary instead for some stupid reason." Well, for next time. Of course, Billy Bob Coleman will be at the helm for the game on Saturday against Crystal Palace, starting at 2:30. Good evening, Paul, Alex, and Billy. Great performance from Newcastle, even though we lost it. Shows we can give both Man City and Liverpool a game. How with the Toon? What an absolute shite ending. Mariner needs to be horsewhipped. Every time a loose ball hit one of our players in our box, they claimed handball every single time. There was one, I think it hit, did it hit Dan Burn on the hip or Willock on the hip and went for a corner? They were crying for a penalty. It was clear that it hit his hip.
Yeah, it hit Dan. Well, actually, there was one that hit Dan Burn's hand, but Dan Burn's hand was down by his side.
Yeah, it came off his chest, though, didn't it? It came off his side and then onto his hand.
It was about 2 meters outside the box.
Yeah.
They were claiming for a penalty.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
Tom says, "Klopp is wound up by us. Even his press conference yesterday, he was asked about Scott Parker, and he starts talking about clubs owned by countries." Isak looked naughty. Hope he isn't injured. Didn't make sense to take him off. He was our outlet, and they were shit scared by him. He had an ice pack on. I hope it's out. That's quite common, though, to put an ice pack on when you've come off just to cool the muscles down. As simple as that. They use them quite a lot. So I wouldn't take very much from that. I'm proud of Howe didn't get up and deck Klopp right in the mouth. Fergie time to the max. Proud of the lads. Could have done with someone to shore up the centre midfield position. Longstaff and Willock tired at the end. You know what? We're always going to... I agree with you, Billy. I think, maybe going into the 90th minute or whatever it may be, just change the centre-back. Put a fresh one on, either Cher or Botman, just to... Or even both, for that matter, just to, just tighten things up a little bit.
Well, they could have pulled a midfielder off and gone 5-3-2, couldn't they? They could. Yeah. That's what they should have done. Just we're obviously going to be on our back foot. That's 5 minutes. It was supposed to be. Just made sense to me to bring another defensive body on just to help out corners and set pieces, because inevitably they were going to come, and they did. So I thought he missed a trick there. It's just a slight missed a trick, but can't criticise him too much because he's an outstanding manager.
Yeah, but there is. Listen, nobody's perfect. Right, at the end of the day, Eddie's going to make mistakes like the next person is. It's fact of the matter that mistakes will happen. However, I think he should have put Elliot Anderson on instead of Murphy, and I think he should have done that at the end with the centre back. But look, the way he had that team out tonight, the way they stayed disciplined, the way they worked hard, the way they kept the shape, this is all down to the manager. And it's as simple as that. When you look at how we played in the previous regime, we were all over the shop, and it's just fact, Alex, that Eddie Howe is an absolute genius, but with his tactics.
Yeah, look how well we played. Look how disappointed we are to not take a point. Even more than that, we're missing Wilson, Maxi, Bruno, Botman didn't play, Shah didn't play. That was like 5 players, 5 of our key players not on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And we still gave that performance.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie Howe's not been here 12 months. He's not been here a year yet. It's got to be one of the best turnarounds in terms of quality turnarounds from where it was to where it is now. It's probably got to be one of the best turnarounds in history. It's within 12 months. This is outrageous. We're taking teams to the death who arguably they're winning Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
And we are giving them absolute games. All the neutrals want to watch us play football because we are so exciting to watch against any team.
Yep, indeed. Got a £10 super chat from Carl Shields. Thank you very much, Carl. Sick of dropping points against minnows like City and Liverpool. Haha. Our backup team put them to the sword at Anfield. Really unlucky, but I was buzzing for a good 45 minutes because of Isak. I'm proud. Yep, I think we all should be tonight, to be honest. It was a brilliant performance. Suave says on the Premier League app, Salah was given man of the match. I mean, he was never in the game. Billy, your mic's off.
It is. Oh, Salah's in my dream team, so that's all good. But yeah, he did nothing.
I mean,
not a jot.
Matt Target had him in his pocket most of that game tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Harvey Elliott was their best player by a country mile.
Oh, he was really good. I was really impressed with him tonight. He's got a big future, him. And he was driving forward every time he had the ball. Just a great player. And, you have to say, when you see good players coming to fruition, I thought that broken leg he had would have knocked him back a bit, but it hasn't. Thankfully so, because, he could be a big player for England in the future, 100%. Ian says, why was VAR not consulted at least for our blatant goal?
It was.
It was, yeah. And they still give it offside because it's Liverpool. Keith says, unfortunately, you're not going to get that onside call away at Liverpool.
It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't be a matter of debate. It's either on or off, and this was on. And there's no debate to it. It's either off or on, and it's on. His feet are on. His shoulders are probably off, but he can't keep the ball with his shoulders, so that doesn't count.
Yeah. Hope Pope's shoulder is okay. Refs are corrupt. What do you think of Nick Pope tonight, Alex?
Yeah, he was outstanding. He was incredible. Some of his sweeps were, there were 3 or 4 situations where he was out the box like lightning to clear up. That is a prime example of something Dubravka would never have done. Just calm, collected. He saved us so much time as well. Just slowed the game down carefully, distributed it carefully. Couldn't find Wood really. I don't know if it's difficult to know whose fault that is, but it's difficult to argue with the distribution with the way we were set up in the final half an hour. Nobody was really trying. I mean, Wood was the headers that Wood did win. Nobody was running on for him, so I can't even blame Wood for some of that. Murphy was just not trying to get to the headers. But Pope, yeah, I can't really fault him for the goal. It was just Firmino found himself in space. Yeah, Pope just far better than what Dubravka
commands
could have
his area
offered in
very well,
game.
doesn't he? He's very alert to the over the top balls.
High claims,
he's out in a flash.
Out of the air was exceptional.
Yeah,
there's a good, I don't even know how many. There's a good 7 or 8 things in that game that you could point out and say Dubravka could not have done those things. He's just got far more.
Yeah, I agree.
He's just more talented at just a lot more of goalkeeping.
Buller Boy makes a good point. I loved what I saw tonight. Passion for the badge, proud as. With these guys, reminds me of the mid-90s. Something special is brewing, and I'm loving it. Ref was a tosser, like. Yeah, undoubtedly. Will says, UEFA want Liverpool in the Champions League, not Newcastle United. It's all about money. Same for West Ham United. All decisions will go against you. Julie J says, true colours coming out now. They don't want Newcastle to become an elite club. Over 97 minutes and Liverpool scores. Absolute disgrace of the referee. Only 5 were intended to be added. Disgusting. I feel like we're becoming the new Serie A. Yeah. things need looking into. Barbara says that lost point could cost us the title. Yeah, I'm not quite sure on that one, Barbara, to be honest. Christopher says, I'm proud and disgusted at the same time, blatantly robbed by a disgrace of a ref. We were excellent throughout and fully deserved a point. However, the pool bench was so childish at the end. Knobs. Pretty straightforward. They were probably making Saudi jibes. They were swearing and stuff. So Pope to blame, messed about wasting time. Ref added to the 5 minutes. Let's be honest, we were hanging on for 20 minutes at the end. Big gulf in class.
He was injured. He wasn't wasting time. He was actually injured. You know.
Honestly, what are the goal? You know, even if he was wasting time, what are the? Does every other goalkeeper in the Premier League not do that?
I don't think he was. I don't think he was delaying his.
No,
his
I think he
kicks.
was hurt because you could see the way he fell.
He was injured. Yeah, he hit his shoulder. Absolutely. Suggest he was tired. It's ridiculous, really.
Yeah. Paul C says Klopp has a face you want to punch, metaphorically speaking. Yeah, I'll not disagree with that. Good point. Klopp was a bitch the whole game, and the referees would have been having words. Richard says I spotted an early occasion where the ref stopped the ball for them. He did it a couple of times. When the ball was running down the side or whatever.
Something very naughty that he did.
You what?
There was one situation where he blew for a free kick, and they took the free kick quickly while the ball was still rolling, and then switched it out to the right wing, and that you can't take a free kick when the ball's moving, and he blew the whistle. So that's one of a million things he did wrong. But for Lascelles to get a yellow card on his first tackle, Fabinho to get away with 6 fouls, taking free kicks while the ball's moving, 4 minutes of added time in the first half, 5 in the second half with 3 additional on top of that. It was disgraceful. It was poor use of advantage most of the time. There were a few situations where I'm fairly confident the ball went out for a throw in as well, that the linesman just wouldn't flag. There were definitely crossed the line a couple of times, because there's no reason for 4 or 5 of our lads to throw their arms up in the air for a throw in. Just so poor from the officials.
Absolutely.
And let's not forget, Fabinho, actually one of his fouls was an elbow to the head of target. Or was it on Fraser? It was a blatant elbow. Not card. Possible red, in my opinion. And Diaz's. Was it Diaz's that did it, Alex?
Yeah. Diaz's foul was really nasty early on. In the first half an hour, two Diaz challenges, and then Diaz was down injured because he hurt his head apparently. And 2 very, very harsh challenges from Diaz, and then 1 super strong challenge from Fabinho. They should have been on 2 yellows in the first half an hour, and they ended up with no yellows in the whole 90 minutes. It's ridiculous. And that would have impacted how they played in the second half if they'd got those kinds of offensive players on yellow cards.
Absolutely. Paul says even the BT Sport interview was saying to Klopp that we were time wasting and it's karma. Wanker. Well, because they all love him. They all love him. That's just the way it's been for a while now. It's a big Klopp loving. Emmett, thank you very much for your $5 super chat. Can't believe we lost that. The team were immense. I'm just so happy to be proud of our team and club again. Every guy gave 110% for the whole game. Guys, it's 1,300 watching again, which is outstanding. So if you just please hit that like button for us. And if you are new to the channel and you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. It is free to do so. Well on our way to 14,000 subscribers, which is awesome. So please, if you're new, do hit that subscribe button and the bell, which will let you know when we upload or go live. And of course, you can donate to the channel if you wish by hitting that $sign at the bottom of the live comments. And don't forget, starting at 12 noon tomorrow, we have Deadline Day live on the Toon Review. We will be with you from noon all the way till the window closes, and hopefully, praying to God, Newcastle are involved in that. So please join us for that for as long as you can. I know, obviously, work, everything else is going to come into that. But stick us on at work and put a headphone in or something like that. And join us for that one. And we'll be with you through all day until the window closes. Right. It's time for player ratings. Alex, we will start with yourself and Nick Perp.
I think I'll give him an 8.
Okay.
I'm not sure the goal was savable. It was just very, very difficult angle for the keeper, through a lot of bodies as well. But he was exceptional at keeping us in the game.
That was a typical Firmino goal, to be honest. He scored so many of them in the pass where he just runs on and clips it in the corner.
Yeah. I don't think that was stoppable. I think it was just a very intelligent run, intelligent strike. I don't think Pope could have done much about. I don't think any keeper would have done much about that, to be fair. I think that goes past all 20 keepers in the league, to be completely honest. But yeah, like we've just mentioned, his defensive actions outside of his box, his sweeping ability is just there for all to see. It's incredible. His high claims, just plucking the ball out of the air, just offers so much more for us. Is definitely a step up in quality. And I rated Dubravka very highly, so it hurts to say that, but I think Pope is a considerably better keeper. It's not just close now; it's visually obvious that Pope is very, very clear. So yeah, he deserves an 8.
Coach Austin says, Liverpool fan I know said that's revenge for all the time wasting. Isn't it amazing that a team that is supposed to be up there challenging for the Premier League title, and it comes down to complaining about our time wasting as to why they couldn't the struggle to beat us? It's a joke, absolute joke. Billy, Kieran Trippier.
Well, as everyone knows, I've been quite critical of Kieran Trippier, but tonight I thought it was absolutely immense. I thought his leadership again, even though he wasn't the captain, his manoeuvring of his players around him was phenomenal. I thought he was in the right place at the right time. I thought even his pace looked better. It's just that first yard he struggles to get off and get the acceleration going. But once he gets going, he is still quick.
Made a vital tackle on Diaz, didn't he? In the second half,
It was immense, absolutely immense. Free kick on target as well, although it was right down the middle. But definitely 8 out of 10 performance from Kieran Trippier for me.
Apparently, Match of the Day said that Isak's second goal was offside by a kneecap. Is that what we've come to now? Why can't we just go back to daylight? Just daylight. If he's offside, he's offside. Just blow your frigging whistle. Get it over with. Just a joke. Right, I'll go for Matt Target, and I'm giving him a 9. I thought he was exceptional today. Really did keep Salah quiet. Salah tried to get round him a couple of times. There was just no can do. I think he was beaten once in the second half. But Joe Linton came back and helped and recovered. So no problems there at all. He gets a 9 from me. Alex, Dan Burn.
Tricky one. I think I'm going to give Dan Burn an 8 as well.
Okay.
I think I'm going to give him an 8. I really liked his energy late on in the game, because you could see that other people were dropping, and I think his age and his experience showed. And he was absolutely knackered. He was pressing the ball on the right wing, and he's meant to be a left-sided centre back, and he had to sprint back to get in position. He was winning things in the air. He was very clean. Another great display of how poor the referee was today is apparently he fouled Mo Salah trying to jump for a header, which was really interesting. I don't know how a 6'7" Dan Burn fouls Mo Salah trying to jump for a header. That was outrageous.
Indeed.
But yeah, no, Dan Burn did everything he was meant to today. And I mentioned to Billy during the game, I think playing a few games at left back has helped him positionally a bit. I think when he was required to come and cover left, he looked better for it, because he's played a lot of minutes there recently, and he just looks a bit more complete. But I think that's something he can do better than Botman can. Is Burn can sort of go out wide and cover, whereas Botman's never really done that. So that is something that Dan Burn's got that Botman hasn't, which is a big praise, because Botman's incredible. So yeah, an 8 for Burn. Burn was very good.
Cool. Lisa's me now. Last just had a race to bed. She won by a kneecap. Total shambles. Indeed. Right, Billy, Jamal Lascelles.
I think that's possibly Jamal Lascelles' best game for Newcastle United. I thought it was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah,
did all the defensive stuff.
Considering he had a dead leg and concussion within the first 10 minutes.
Indeed, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what caused it. Who knows? But his defensive work was solid. His passing was much better than usual. Some of it was quite outstanding, actually. 8 out of 10 for Jamal Lascelles, which is very high for him, but fully deserved. I thought it was great.
Yep,
really did.
I'll take Sean Longstaff, and I'm going to give Sean Longstaff an 8. I thought he was all over the pitch tonight. I thought he did really, really well. There was once where he made a skew whiff of a ball when he could have played Joe Linton in the first half, and he overhit it. And I thought, oh, here we go again. However, it didn't happen that way. He played very well. He was back defending. He was working his ass off. He played some nice passes. Obviously, set up the goal as well for Isak, which was beautifully taken. But it was a lovely weighted pass. Didn't have to take a touch. Isak, he just first time in the net. And Bob's your uncle. So he gets an 8. Certainly a better performance than anybody thought we would get out of him tonight. No doubt about it. Ian Fleming, thanks for your £10 super chat.
I want to back you up on that because I know people are going to come after you for that rating.
Well, so funny enough, they're not. They're all putting an 8 in the chat.
Oh, really?
They're all putting 8. Yeah.
I think his display was a 7, but I feel like the pass for the goal and the presses he did means you've got.
That's why I've upped it to an 8.
It's got to be an 8
because he did.
I think it's got to be an 8 purely for the. I think it was a 7 performance, but the pass and the presses mean it's got to be an 8.
Ian Fleming, thanks for your £10 super chat. He says, just watched on Match of the Day. Offside was marginal, but we should have had a penalty. Shea was dragged to the ground in the area. He's looking back at the other game. Honestly, just stop winding. Anyway, where are we at here? Alex, you get Joe Willock.
If I do, did I do?
Did you do long stuff? No, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
No, I did long stuff. Yeah.
Joe Willock. That's a tough one because I think he was better than Longstaff over the 90 minutes. Well, 100 minutes, but I can't give him. I don't think I can't give him an 8. Oh, that's a horrible one because you've given Longstaff an 8 as well. I think over the course of the whole game.
By the way, I'd just like to point that out.
Yeah, I think over the course of the game, Willock was better than Longstaff was, but I'm going to give Willock a 7. But it's the assist that gives Longstaff the 8. That's all it is in my eyes. I think Willock had a better game. He did tire, and there were a few sloppy passes, a few sloppy duels late on, but I think that's probably one of his most mature performances because I was really critical of Willock after the Forest game. And since then, his concentration levels have gone up. He's playing safer. He's just being a lot safer. And I'm happy to see he's progressing a bit. He's learning. So, yeah, I'll give him a 7, but it's a 7 with love. I think he had a good game for him and he's learning.
Great. Doug, who of course was on last night, and Dugout Channel says, you guys didn't deserve to lose tonight. You were fantastic, Resolute and Isak. Isak had a wonderful debut. We got our get out of jail free card. Play like that all season and get your big players back. You will be having a great season. Doug talks a lot of sense. And by the way, Doug, if you're still watching, I'd love to know what you thought of your manager's performance tonight on the sideline and the reaction at the end, which was a very, very unsavory. As a Liverpool fan, what do you think of Jurgen Klopp? His actions tonight were quite shocking, to be honest, through the whole game. But it'd be interesting to get a Liverpool.
He said he'll be coming on tomorrow, so we can talk to him.
Yeah, he's coming on. Yeah, sometime during the day, so we'll have a word with him about that as well. Right, where are we up to? Joe Linton for you, Billy.
Monumental performance. The work rate, the tackling, the lead, he led by example. The work in transition that we don't usually associate with him, phenomenal performance. 9 out of 10 for me for Joe Linton. Outstanding.
Yep, definitely. Tom says Chris Waugh is reporting the tensions have flared between the two sides after the match. I'm not surprised the way they acted. Pathetic. Foxy says Klopp, legendary manager, but he was a disgrace tonight. Tries to intimidate officials and it works. Yep. Jack says Goldbridge, low key, doesn't like Newcastle, but he's starting to appreciate us more. What the hell? Steve McGarry, totally deserved to lose. Spineless last 20 minutes. You're a bell end. Get off the channel. Doug says, whoever said Joe Linton should be in midfield is a freaking genius. Absolutely amazing player now in midfield.
You're not having him.
Excuse me. No. Hang on a second. I'd just like to just reiterate Doug's point there. Thank you, Billy. Yes. I said a long time, well, quite a few months actually, before Joe Linton moved to midfield, I actually did say, why don't we try him in the middle? Because his size and things like that, he'll do really well as a midfielder. And Eddie must have been watching that that show. So there you go. Steve, you can piss off, mate, because you're an absolute dickhead. So you're blocked. Honestly, I don't get why they put comments like that, because they just get blocked and sent absolute bell ends, man.
Steve McGarry.
Steve McGarry. Well, he might not be a Liverpool fan. He's just called us wankers, to be honest. So there you go.
Well.
Sorry?
I've just checked Joe Linton, and he's
Yeah.
got 5 tackles, 3 interceptions, 12 duels won. He won, absolutely ridiculous from him. His heat map is just a picture of a goat again. It's ridiculous.
Well, there you go.
He's everywhere.
And you saw the respect that the Liverpool players, especially the Brazilian ones, Firmino and them after the match with Joe Linton. They were straight to him and they were kind of giving him love, which is a big thing, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm going to take Isak, right? Because I never get the star players. So I'm taking Isak, and he's getting a 10. Simply because didn't be looking over at Alex, Billy. I'm telling you, right? He gets a 10 simply because that was an outstanding debut. And to take that goal the way he did at Anfield, I'm sorry, but I it's his debut, and I'm just there. This guy is going to be awesome for us. His pace, the way he ran down players today, even the likes of Trent, who isn't slow, but Isak was about 5 yards behind him at one stage for one through ball, and by the time Alexander got the ball, Isak was right on him. This guy has got bags of pace, he's got strength, and he's quality. So 10 out of 10. Alex, you can have Fraser.
What do I give Fraser for this one? I thought he was shocking. I thought he was absolutely shocking. I thought he was a large reason for why we tired offensively. A lot of our offensive players tired. Players like Willock, Miggy, and Isak tired at the rate they did because of Fraser's lack of anything productive. Just offers nothing. Was not chasing lost causes down. Was not pressing properly. He was doing Chris Wood pressing. He's gone. He's absolutely gone. I really understand that Cruyff turn shot was amazing. Well done.
That was brilliant, actually.
He's got quality, but at this point we don't need. That's not required from him. He needs to be able to do the other part of the game because we are a system team. We are a system team. We play in a certain way, and the fact that Isak came on and he instantly played that role. He understood after a few sessions with the lads when to press, how to play in that system. Fraser can't do that. It's not his fault. If he can't do it, he can't do it. I'm not criticizing him as a person. He's a lovely bloke and he's a cracking player in the dressing room. We got lots of banter. It's great, but he's not. He looks like he's not even as he looked better in February, March time. He looks like he's lost pace. He's lost stamina since the start of the year. It looks like it's declining really fast. I'm really concerned that he's going the way of Matt Ritchie, like now. I give him a 5, and I think that's generous. I think he was useless. I think he was absolutely useless.
Okay. Ian Fleming, thanks for another £5. He says, sorry, Paul, meant Longstaff should have had a penalty, not Share. On Sunday, he should have. Not today. I can't remember the one today should have had a penalty, but never mind. Thanks, Ian. Alex, you're getting hammered for Fraser. Tony says Fraser wasn't shocking. Fraser would have had the assist if we're saying Isak was on side. Alex, you just don't like him. Tielemans and Pedro in tomorrow.
I do like him.
Our starting 11 is going to frighten so many teams. Tony thought he was okay. Give him a 7. Tony says, Alex, what you smoking? Julie J's giving Fraser a 7. Fraser's not 100% match fit. Has he ever been?
He's never been 100% match fit, and that is the problem.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Daniel says Fraser 7.3. Worked hard and tracked 7.3. Tony says Fraser 7. Dan says Fraser made the pass to Isak that you say was onside. Fraser is 7. Peter says Wood and Murphy both zeros. Did Suttle when they came on. Get them in the bin. Interesting. Billy, you get Miggy.
Well, I've not seen many players send Robertson to the bench because he's been overwhelmed by him with his pressing, with his skills. The little turn he did in the first half to get past him and advance up the pitch was immense.
Yeah.
Ran his socks off, helps Trippier an awful lot, makes Trippier's job a lot easier. Superb tonight. Superb.
Yeah.
One of his best performances for us.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a 9.
Yeah, definitely. I'll agree with that 100%. Jimmy says, Alex, you're a troll. Get it, Jimmy, lad. Oh, you got to love Jimmy. You got to love him. Yeah, people are giving Miggy 9s in the chat as well. Totally agree with that. Right, substitutes. First substitute on was... God, let me think back.
Is it not Wood Murphy together?
Wood and Murphy, yeah. So I get Chris Wood, and I'm giving him a 2. I thought, back to normal again. Shite. He won a couple of headers that went nowhere, but he just disappeared out the game. He was there. I think, Billy, you said earlier on, he was there for about 2 minutes and then just disappeared like a ghost. So he gets a 2 from me and moving on very quickly. Alex, you got Murphy.
Oh, dear. Well, if I'm giving Fraser a 5, then Murphy gets a 1.
Oh. Yeah. Listen, I was disgusted. Them 5 tackles that he just didn't get stuck in. I mean, it really pissed me off, to be honest.
He wouldn't.
You
jump
see other
for
people
aerial
putting
duels.
their bodies on the line, and he just wouldn't. It was pathetic.
He wouldn't compete for ground duels. He wouldn't jump for aerial duels, for headers. He looked like he was so devoid of confidence in himself when he was running with the ball. He had no confidence that he could beat anybody for pace. He wouldn't try dribbling. His defensive awareness was shocking. His passing was shocking. His press was shocking. I don't think he did anything right. I'm really concerned by that performance. Like, at least Fraser, as people rightly said, Fraser's pass to the offside goal existed, and he had an interesting shot. He helped target somewhat. But what can you say about Murphy?
Yeah, I know.
I can't. He's got to have done something to get more than a 1. He didn't do anything.
Yeah,
literally 0.
Well, listen, we're not focusing on this shit tonight.
There was one part in that game where we were under pressure. Trippier won the ball, gave it to Murphy. No, he didn't. He gave it to Miggy, actually, and Murphy was on the touchline. And he stood behind the defender when he had 10 yards either side of the defender to get in space and receive an easy pass. But he went and stood behind the defender. Just
he did.
There's no brains there. Not only is he shite, he's got no common sense either.
Yep. Right. Doug says, I think if you get João Pedro in tomorrow, Wood will go more and more down the pecking order. Almiron looks a different player tonight. That's the best I've seen him. Robertson is shattered. I want to see Tsimikas more. Yeah, he did look off the pace, Robertson, tonight, which is weird because I do rate him. I think he's a really good left back. But listen, it's more than Miggy ran him ragged, I have to say, which for a Newcastle United point of view is obviously really well. Where are we up to? Billy, you get who came on after that?
Anderson.
Yes, you get Elliott.
Didn't have much time with the ball, but what he did do was quite tidy. I thought he put more effort in on the left hand side than Murphy did.
He could have just got that ball out of his feet near the end, Billy.
Yeah. He could have. Well, it wouldn't have game for us. So they wouldn't have come back from that. 6 out of 10 because he wasn't on long enough to have a real big impact on the game, but didn't do anything wrong and actually looked dangerous, which was much more than Murphy did. Much more.
Yeah. Gary says, nice work, fellas. Liked and subscribed. Thanks, buddy. Welcome to the family. Rachel says, 1,100 watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It's free. Thank you very much. Yeah, very close to 14,000. It's going to be incredible. We really want to just keep rising and rising. Like morning wood, so to speak. But anyway, that's all the subs. Eddie Howe. Alex, you first.
That's a horrible one. That's a horrible question.
Well, it's not. I have to ask it, Alex.
I know. I'm going to go for an 8.
Yeah.
Purely just because a lot of it's down to just obviously how well coached this team is and how great the coaching obviously is behind the scenes for them to be able to do that. There's people criticizing Longstaff, Willock, and all these players, but what we've done so far this season is outrageous. We've not got a squad full of Galacticos yet. We will do, but we haven't yet, and we're still doing amazing. But I can't give him any more. I do agree with you guys about. I think he should have used, an extra substitute. Although I think you can only do three sub instances, can't you? So how many did we use? We used Wood
3.
Murphy.
3.
And then we only used 2 of our instances because although you've got 5 subs, you can only do 3.
Yes, you can only
goes
stop
of
the
it.
game 3 times. Yeah.
So I agree that I think we possibly should have brought on an extra player, whether it was Richie or Cher or Botman. I think we should have brought on somebody in injury time to just slow it down even more. That's probably my only criticism. I can't blame him for bringing on the players because he's just using the squad he's got, and the players were knackered. The substitutes had to be made. People were dead on their feet. I've never seen Miggy look so tired when he's come off. His face, he looked like he was in pain, and not through injury, just through sheer hard work. He looked physically in pain. We need some more signings. We need some more bodies. There was nobody to bring on in midfield. Nobody. We're shoehorning at this point, and it's dangerous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Nate, Nish says, get yourselves on Rumble as well as YouTube. What the hell is Rumble? Never heard of Rumble. Never heard of it. I really haven't. I've heard of Twitch, but I've never heard of Rumble. Twitch is more for gamers, isn't it?
Let's get ready for it, though. Let's get ready for it.
Let's get ready to rumble. Indeed. Right, Billy. Eddie Howe.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't agree more with Alex. 8 out of 10. To get that team to push Liverpool all the way, we all had doubts about the lineup when we saw it, but to get that team performing in that manner was a masterclass. But I just thought his in-game management again. This is the second time in 2 games I'm saying this. Should have made some different substitutions, different times. I felt Eddie Anderson should have gone ahead of Murphy. I think he should be ahead of him in the pecking order now, and I think he should have brought on another defensive body just to shore up the defence for the last 2 or 3 minutes, and we'd have come away with a point.
I agree.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll go with an 8 as well for exactly the same things you just said, Billy. To be honest, I do think 8 out of 10 is fair. I just wish he'd stop putting Murphy on the pitch. I generally just wish he'd stop. Carlos says he was laughing at Miggy. He was knackered but still smiling. Yeah, he does. He's like that. Jersey Boy says, hiya from a Liverpool fan. Just wanted to say you guys were very good today. Thanks very much, mate. Really appreciate that. James says, do you guys think there will be signings tomorrow? Yes, I do actually. I'm not just saying that. I generally do. And I think, we possibly all think that, to be honest. Dan says, really hope the boys won't be too fatigued for Palace now. Alex is right, need bodies in tomorrow. It's an Ashley hangover. It takes more than 2 windows to reverse. Absolutely. Guys, just now just think after the night we've just had, we've got a hell of a day tomorrow to look forward to. Hopefully we'll bring in some players. I really do hope that happens. But there you go. That is the review show done and dusted. We are now going to hit the hay. Or Alex, are you driving home right now?
Yeah. I'm going to leave in a minute. I do have a stat award as well. If I can give a stat award,
go on then.
I'm going to give it to Matt Target.
Okay. Yeah.
God, my voice is proper. It's really.
You need to get some water on you, Alex, just to keep that ready for tomorrow.
Oh God.
Doug says, Sorry, Doug says, right, guys, I'm off to bed. I'll see you at some point tomorrow. Finish work at 4, have a stream at 5, so likely to be around 6ish. Yeah, I'll send you the link, mate. No problem at all. We'll see you tomorrow, buddy. Go on, Alex.
If I can talk, I'll try one more sentence. So Matt Targett, 5 clearances, 1 block, 4 interceptions, 3 tackles. He won 3 out of 3 ground duels and 5 out of 6 aerial duels.
Yeah,
that is a filthy defensive performance. Absolutely, just outrageous. Top draw. Possibly his best performance for us, and to be honest.
Billy, who was your man of the match? Just quickly, by the way.
My man of the day, I'm going to give it to Jamal Lascelles for coming out. Just as a performance that we didn't think he was capable of, the passing especially. But I thought he led from the front. I thought he defended. He didn't get any dodgy lines offside wise. Passed the ball, just the passing of the ball. He must have had a share with Popman's boots on. Phenomenal. For once, we'll give him credit, and I think he was my man for the day.
I'm going to give it to Nick Pope. I just think he commanded the area brilliantly, coming out numerous times to sweep up and clear the ball away. But massive shout outs to Matty Targett, Joe Linton, Lascelles as well. I think that they all stood up for each other tonight. And I'm, we leave tonight immensely proud of the guys, immensely proud of our football team tonight. We were done again by awful refereeing, etc. But look, it is what it is. It's gone now. It's water under the bridge. We have to move on, which of course we will. We have a big day tomorrow. Don't forget, we're starting at 12 noon with the deadline day show, and we will be on until the window closes. So stay with us for as long as you can, or join us later on in the day, whatever it may be. But we will bring you any breaking news on transfers and stuff like that live on the show. So don't forget that. Friday is going to be the Palace preview. No TTR Friday this week because obviously we'll be doing the Crystal Palace preview. Saturday, Billy will bring you the live game from 2:30, kick off at 3. But do join us tomorrow. Safe journey back to Turster or wherever it is, Alex. What is it, 40-odd mile from Billy's?
It'd take me 40 minutes, probably 35, 40 minutes to go home.
Bit different to mine when I dropped the shirts and microphone off, and then I put the sat nav on to come home, and it was 206 miles. So I had a bit further than you to go.
Closer than my journey. Mine's 2:15 to St James's Park. So
well, listen, I don't mind driving. The roads were clear on the way home, so it was fine. It was all good. So there you go. Yeah, we've got the shirts ready. Alex has got a new mic ready to go tomorrow. So we're all good. And we sorry Danielle couldn't get on tonight, but she will be here tomorrow for the deadline day show. But there you go. Thank you to everybody that's watched both shows tonight. We've had incredible viewing figures again, and probably a lot of new channel subscribers, which is brilliant. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you part of the family. Thank you to all the super chatters, new members. You've been absolute legends. Billy and Alex, thanks for your company tonight. And a big shout out to the mod squad who've put in a hell of a shift tonight with some incredible viewing figures. It's been busy in the chat on both shows. So thank you very much to the mod squad. You are absolute saviors and beautiful people. So thank you very much for all your efforts tonight, keeping the chat nice and safe for everybody to take part in. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the watch along earlier and the commentary. Hope you enjoyed the review show. It was a bit disappointing, but listen, positives came out of the game. There's no doubt about it. But there you go. Join us at 12 noon tomorrow, where we kick off deadline day, and let's hope that we are involved for a couple of players. But until then, safe journey, Alex, and sleep well, everybody, and we'll see you at noon tomorrow. Good night.
How are the lads and lasses?